All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, YouTube and Discord. Happy New Year. It's 2025. What a great year it's been already. Happy Monday. It's 9:15 a.m. Eastern, and it is January 6th, 2025. And I think we're starting off on a good note with the markets. Let's see. How's the SPY doing? No, right as I say that, it just decides to drop. All right. We're actually up for the first 2 days of the trading week. All right, let's look at the pre-market tape. S&P futures is up 0.5%, Nasdaq's up 0.7%, Dow's up 0.3%, Russell's up 0.67%. VIX futures are flat. Treasuries are down. Gold is down 1%. Oil is up 0.7%. Nat gas is up 10%. Bitcoin is about flat, up 0.35%. The FTSE is up 0.2%. Asian markets, the Nikkei ended down 1%. The Shanghai index ended down 0.2%. And the US dollar is down 0.45% versus other currencies. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had fantastic holidays. Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. Did we just get some data? What caused the SPY to have a little drop? That happened right at 9:15. We must have gotten some data, but I'm not seeing it yet. Yeah, I was going to buy some put spreads at the open. I probably still will. Did everyone make a lot of money last year? Are you guys ready for a bear market? Do you guys think we'll have a bear market? Yes. I think we'll have a correction. I think a correction is like all but guaranteed. I don't know about crash. Everybody wants to predict a crash. I don't know about that, but correction is definitely overdue. Yeah, we'll see about tariffs. I mean, we got tariffs. We have the tax change in tax structure and threat of mass deportation of illegal immigrants. I mean, it's not just about the tariffs. It's several things that could spur inflation. Just kind of throw a wrench in everything. So, nothing new yet though. It's all still just back and forth. I mean, it was revealed weeks ago that, at least a few weeks ago, that not all Republicans are on board with proposed policies. So we'll see how that goes. But I think the base case scenario is inflation is going to once again be sticky at this point. I think that's the obvious base case now. But, the markets, they just need to adjust. And once they adjust, then as long as everything is predictable or within a predictable range, then the markets they'll just cruise back up until something bad happens, something unexpected. So, what you've been seeing the past few weeks, so it's uncertainty. which is great if you're a value investor, you sell volatility. Not great if all you do is just go long meme stocks. King D, Mr. Everything, Desmond, you've been invited to speak, Desmond. We're live on YouTube, by the way, so watch your mouth this time. No, I'm just kidding. 405, your blunt friend, my blunt friend. Good morning. Working plus listening plus trading? Soon. Yeah, Microsoft is just flexing $80 billion on data centers, AI-enabled data centers. I don't even know if that's comprehensive, that all data centers are just their AI-based data centers. Who's enjoying this winter storm? Snow's really coming down up here in the Berg. All the chips are happy now. Meta can. Oh, yeah, they can. Dude, Meta's got plenty of cash. Meta's is a cash cow. I think they have higher margins than Google and Microsoft. Yeah, I know they have higher margins than Apple. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Meta's probably second to NVIDIA in terms of cash flow margins, that is. So yeah, no, they got cash, and they seem to be experimenting in terms of sources of energy, which is something I'm going to talk about this month. The last part of the renewable energy report. Yeah, Meta spurred it, or potentially will spur it, but yeah, should be interesting. King D, you're sick as a dog in Ireland? A dog in Ireland. That's pretty sick. So yeah, but they can only throw 35 to 40 billion here. Oh, they could do more. They could definitely do more. What was it? Was it 2 years ago now? Maybe a year and a half ago? And they sold some bonds, and they were oversubscribed, and they paid less than what the markets were expecting, on the yields, that is. Yeah, there is. If Meta wants more money, Meta will get more money. That is not a problem. I don't even think. Let's see. Let's check their debt. Yeah, man. Look, you're talking about a massive. You're talking about a mega cap that's highly profitable. There's no. They can request as much money as they want. Honestly. Let's see. What was their CapEx spend past year? Looks like it's 31 billion. So the CapEx, I think it's been significantly lower than what they kept saying. They were saying it was going to be closer to 40 billion. It's been much lower, relatively speaking. So let's see, how much debt do they have? 49 billion as of last quarter, and 114 billion in expected EBITDA for this year. Yeah, they could go up to 2 times debt to EBITDA. They could triple, quadruple that debt if they wanted. I mean, investors would be a bit shocked, but all they have to do is say, hey, we've done it before. We know what we're doing. And it's for AI. It's for data centers. Future, whatever. I think it'd be a little crazy if they tripled CapEx. Maybe not that much. But, yeah, if they needed the money, if they wanted the money, they could get it. And, frankly, if they did, and they went crazy with CapEx, and the markets lost their minds, and they send the share price down 40%, 50% just like last time, then I'm looking at Meta again. Yeah, that'd be great. I'd say, yeah, Zuckerberg, burn cash. and then a year, 2 years from that point on, people are going to be saying the same thing they were saying this past year. Why didn't you buy Meta when it was this low? Yeah, that'd be great. I don't think he will, though. I think it's the last time Zuckerberg does something crazy like that. He's getting old. It's the stress. Yeah, I honestly don't know what's going on with Metaverse. I do know they said the guy, terrorist man in New Orleans, that he scoped the place out with those Meta glasses, whatever they're called, the Ray-Bans. Yeah. So I think maybe that's going to make people want to buy them. I don't know. I don't see that as being like a I mean, it's publicity, right? So I feel like people are now interested in those freaking glasses. But you could say that's an odd way to gain interest in something. But I mean, we're talking about the people on social media that are celebrating a guy that murdered someone. So, what's the difference? All right, let's look at some news on that happy note. Let's look at some news just before the market opens. Foxconn reported record fourth quarter revenue of $64 billion, up 15% year over year, driven by strong AI server demand. The news boosted global semiconductor stocks, Taiwan Semiconductor, NVIDIA, and ASML. Those are leading the gains across the semiconductor space. Let's see, I think Taiwan Semiconductor was up like 5%. Close to 5% maybe. Yeah, NVIDIA's just right back on its tear. ASML, nice big move on ASML. I like that. I think Dell should probably be doing well. Kind of. Dell's they're like the fat kid that's trying to keep up. Not that being fat is a bad thing. JetBlue has been fined $2 million. JetBlue Airways was fined by the U.S. Transportation Department for chronic delays of 4 East Coast routes between 2022 and 2023, with $1 million going to affected passengers. Let's see. It's $2 million. It's nothing. Okay, so I'm sure they're fine. Maybe they're still struggling because they couldn't merge with Spirit Airlines. We talked about Microsoft. Yeah, they're planning to invest $80 billion in fiscal 2025 to expand AI-enabled data centers, primarily in the U.S., which makes sense. And why not? They are paying for all these energy sources, locking in nuclear power years from now, yeah. Big tech is going to run the country, if not already doing so. Disney announced plans to combine its Hulu Plus live TV service with Fubo, consolidating 2 internet TV bundles. I don't know why I said consolidating like that. Further details on the partnership are awaited. Fubo has been a problem child, but they are squeezing. They are big time, over 200%, 170% right now in pre-market. Yeah, so no surprise on this squeeze. The news is definitely a surprise. Let's see. What is its max? Oh, man, look at this chart. So they closed. Let's see. What did they close at? They closed at $1.43 this past Friday. And they're trading at $3.80 now. Their high was $62.29. And if you zoom out on the 5-year chart, you can't even see this. Yeah, this move, man. Yeah, they got a long way to go. I did read that they're getting something like 30% of 30% ownership of the what's their what's that the new it's cable, the new cable package called. Let's see. Starts with the V, right? Venue, I think. VNU. Yeah, so they're going to get like 30% ownership. Don't know what that's going to come out to cash flow wise. But I think Fubo is going to be allowed to continue to exist because they didn't have a profitable business model before. So it was, it was just a ticking time bomb for them. So, yeah, I guess they got a lifeline because the court sided with them. Kind of ironic that if Disney, was it Disney, Fox, and Warner Brothers, if they hadn't tried to do this deal, Fubo would have no case on which to sue them. So because they're doing it, it looks like, at least for now, it looks like Fubo might continue to exist. Interesting how that works. Is that a cosmic irony? I don't know. U.S. Steel and Nippon Steel filed lawsuits against the Biden administration challenging the block of their $14 billion merger. The companies allege political bias tainted the review process, seeking a new review to revive the deal. I actually sold put spreads on U.S. Steel the day before that was announced. Stock dropped 7%, and I made money on my put spreads because the volatility is just, I mean, you can see this magenta line. IV was just crushed. Volatility is just crushed. It tends to not go below $30. Kind of interesting there. Spreads are pretty wide. The markets are pretty wide on U.S. Steel, though, so it's not the best thing to trade. Yeah, they do have earnings coming up, so it'll be interesting to see how they're doing. Why is Nippon Steel so interested in acquiring them? You know, aside from just basic, they want the supply, right? But could just be very undervalued. Could be. Yeah. Trump says tariffs will be great for U.S. Steel. Well, costs go up too for companies. Yeah, so I don't think, let's see. What happened last time? Why don't we just look at that? What do you got? 2017. How did U.S. Steel do through Trump's first presidency? Not very good. Yeah, so, I don't know about that. I don't know if tariffs are great for the steel industry. Based on the stock price charts, doesn't look like it, but what else we got? Let's look at the tape real quick. S&P futures now up 0.8%. Looks like they rebounded a bit from that drop earlier. Oh, yeah, definitely. All right, let's do some put spreads here. I guess I'm going to go 596. Let's see. 596, maybe 594. Let's see what we got. We could do that. Is it going to feel me? Can you feel me? Wow, that jumped. Okay, let's see. I got to pay 57. Wow, the act was spot on. Oh, there we go. It's not going to get me in. These, I don't know about you guys, but my fills have been terrible the past few weeks. The volume isn't really an issue for the ETFs these days. It's kind of, it's weird to blame volume. looks like I'm missing this little drop here. I don't mind rushing into this because I just want some short exposure, short delta exposure for the day. All right, I overpaid, but I wanted it, so. All right. Okay, so S&P is now up 0.74%. Nasdaq's up 1.15%. Let me check Tesla real quick. Is that one of the reasons? Yeah, one of the reasons. And we'll check the flex grid in a minute. Dow's up 0.2%, so Dow's lagging. Russell's up 0.38%. VIX futures now down 1.2%. Treasury's still down. Crude is now up 2.1, or sorry, crude is up 0.8%. I was looking at the wrong ticker. I was looking at copper. Copper's up 2.1%. Nat gas is up 9.5%. Bitcoin's up 0.5%. US dollar down 0.5% versus other currencies. All right. What do we have? Apple's moving up. That's good news for me. Okay. AMD's up 3.2%. I think AMD is getting a lot of bullish calls from Wall Street past week or so. I got some call spreads expiring in February. I need to move up. Past 140 would be nice. It's possible. ASML is up 5.7%. Very nice. Have a bunch of calls on ASML. Well, not a bunch because they are expensive. ASML looking nice. Good job to ASML. Aspen, that's been a bit of a problem child past couple months. Seems to be waking up. It's good for my call spreads. We'll probably have to adjust those, though. I got February call spreads. What else we got? Very glad I closed most of my Carvana short. I had some short call spreads. Honestly, let's check the markets. Markets are pretty wide. So I'd like to sell some more call spreads on Carvana, but I'm going to wait. These are just, the liquidity is not great. Pretty bad. I do have some June, what is it? Strike 130 puts. I'm going to hang on to those. Carvana's up 5.5%. I'm only losing 10% of those puts. Yeah, I'm still up 35% of those. Nice. So, we'll see what happens to Carvana. They were accused by Hindenburg Research of maybe accounting fraud. I don't know. Or just general fraud. A big grift. Yeah, pretty big accusation by Hindenburg, but Hindenburg's got a pretty damn good track record, so I wouldn't bet against those guys. I mean, they did call SMCI, so actually, we're still waiting on the outcome of that, but or at least the outcome of the investigation. But I mean, you look at the stock price, and I think it was what. Maybe back in, was it August? Looks like it was August. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it had to have been August. It dropped from 60. Now it's trading at 38. Squeezing a bit today of 15%. So that's nice. But you did have, you had an executive leave. You had an accounting firm quit. So, it doesn't look good. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. They're not out of the woods yet. Yeah, they are squeezing today. Welcome, sir, whose name I will not attempt to pronounce. I'm not that culture. On YouTube, that is. If AMD has good data center numbers, it will blow up. I hope it doesn't blow up like the Tesla trucks. But yeah, I mean, I think their data center numbers need to be great in order for Wall Street to love them again. Because the numbers have been good, but not NVIDIA good. So Wall Street's has been like, yeah, that's fine. And they haven't been surprising to a big extent, like Broadcom, or NVIDIA. Or at least you could say like first 2-3 quarters of last year for NVIDIA. Now NVIDIA is just expected to surprise in a big way every single quarter. So it's kind of, baked in. They could do really, really well, and the stock price isn't going to move through earnings. But AMD, on the other hand, yeah, they need to surprise in a big way. But all considered, I think they're at a decent price. Relatively speaking, I wouldn't look at them as like a value play. I would simply look at the business and the stock price, where the stock price is now versus other similar semiconductor chip stocks. Look at their growth and performance relative to those other stocks and say, okay, the price it's in a good spot. AMD, the stock should have a good year. Quantum Corp. Breaking trends versus the other. Yeah, let's see. If the others are still going up, then yeah, because Quantum Corp. Let's see, QUBT, QBTS. Are those all of them? Yeah, they're all still moving the same. Looks like. I know. Rigetti. That was moving a bit weird last week, but it's right back up. We'll talk about quantum stocks. Yeah. All right. How's the S&P looking? Yeah, it's just going up. All right, more news. Rivian is... No, they're down 3% today, but yeah, they were up 24.5% on Friday after meeting their adjusted 2024 production and delivery targets. They have earnings coming up on February 20th. So they met their targets. Yeah, I could see this calming down a bit. I might come back to this, maybe do a little short-term short play. So they went from $10, now trading at $16 in a month. About 5-6 weeks. 60% move. Because they met targets. Yeah, I don't know about that. Or just kind of just following Tesla, really, kind of seems. General Motors and Ford reported their best annual U.S. sales since 2019. I believe is that Friday or over the weekend? With GM selling 2.7 million vehicles, or plus 4.3% year over year, and Ford selling 2.1 million vehicles, plus 4% year over year. EV sales surged for both automakers, though they remain a small percentage of total sales. So GM's doing all right. How's Ford? Ford just trades like a bond. I honestly don't understand Ford's management. How you can go so long without really getting it right. I don't understand. They were late to EVs. Now they're dialing it back. They've had profitability issues. They have a ton of debt. I don't get it. I don't get how management hasn't been gutted. Oddest thing for such a big company. How are the media stocks? Disney, Fox, Warner Brothers. I think they're appealing the court's decision. Warner Brothers has been moving pretty interestingly. Yeah, they're appealing the U.S. court injunction blocking their joint venture venue on antitrust grounds, which is why is Fubo still squeezing. And that's why Fubo is up big. What else you got? Uber and Lyft are pivoting to accommodate robotaxi operators. Both companies are adding app features for autonomous vehicles and preparing infrastructure and support teams to integrate the technology. Very interesting that the markets were just selling the hell out of those stocks because of autonomous vehicles. We talked about it. I thought it was way overblown. Everyone on Wall Street started talking about how it was overblown. The markets seemed to disagree. I didn't understand how that autonomous vehicles meant the death of Uber, that they would want to partner with those companies and they would establish partnerships and it would help their costs. Now, the stock is up. It was up 6% earlier, but it's up 3.5% now. Yeah, this was a very short matter of time, to be honest, or a matter of short time, I guess you could say. Yeah, I think Uber's going to be just fine. How's Lyft doing? Yeah, Lyft is the lesser. Lyft is trying, but they just do not have the branding power that Uber has. Even with partnerships, they still can't get me to use them. Back to Meta. Meta faced backlash after its AI-generated user accounts were found misrepresenting themselves and spreading falsehoods. Meta cited a bug and removed the accounts. Quick fix, I suppose. I don't know if you guys saw those AI accounts, but they were strange. I don't get it. I don't see the point of those. I mean, I guess if people will engage with anything, right? So they'll reply, they'll comment. Even the people commenting say these AI bots are dumb or this is cringe. This doesn't make any sense. This is bad. Well, they're giving engagement. So I guess it works until, too many people complain and it has the opposite effect and people say, I'm going to use Facebook and Instagram less because of this. But right out the gate, it was good. There was engagement. Even bad engagement is engagement that'll help Meta make money. So yeah, if you think it's a bad idea, then just don't engage with the bots. DraftKings has started a paid subscription. It's a $20 a month subscription service, which is currently based in New York, offering up to a 100% profit boost on winning parlays. The move aims to enhance engagement and offset New York's 51% gaming tax. Expansion may follow. Yeah, they're going to expand that for sure. That's interesting. A subscription model for gambling. That's fantastic. Hey, what's up, Toro? Are you in New York? NYT? Oh, I don't know. You're on YouTube. I know that. Dr. Zeno, you can't hear me. Can everybody else hear me? Is my volume all right? Okay. Major beverage companies like Molson Coors and Anheuser-Busch are expanding into non-alcoholic drinks amid declining alcohol consumption. The global market for non-alcoholic beverages is projected to grow by $4 billion by 2028. What do we got? Was that Tap and Bud? They haven't had... Oh, Bud, yeah. Anheuser-Busch. That stock has been torn apart. Man, that's just forever oversold on the daily chart, RSI. I would even rush to say, if you're looking for a value play here, just wait for a reversal in the trend. You just watch RSI. Man, that's so oversold. They got a dividend? And it's just 1.8%. Maybe I'll look at long-term calls on them. That could be good. Yeah, I'm seeing more and more non-alcoholic drinks at bars and breweries, which frankly is odd to me. I'm not a big drinker anymore. I hardly ever drink now. But I don't crave non-alcoholic beverages by any means, or like mock beers or whatever, you know. I've never liked those, to be honest. I'll have a seltzer, but it still has to be good. I'm not going to drink it because I'm at a bar and I have to drink something, you know. Otherwise, I'll just have I don't know, like a craft soda or just anything else. But I do see them popping up. I think a brewery that I go to a lot, they just put up this whole board of a bunch of non-alcoholic beers. And already people were saying, I was there the other day, people were saying, yeah, I've tried a few of them. They're actually good, or I like them, whatever. So I don't know. Maybe it's good strategy. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll be a fad. I don't know. I would think, I know the margins are high, but I would just think if they just provided just other beverages in general. Like, it doesn't have to be non-alcoholic beer, you know. Just good drinks, you know, if you want more people to come. But then when people aren't drinking all the time and they're not drunk, then they realize they don't have anything in common. And that's sad. Oh, you started buying Bud. Dr. Zeno, you got it working? Okay, it sounds like you can hear me, yeah. All right. Let's see, a few more things. Italy is negotiating a $1.6 billion deal with SpaceX to provide secure telecom for its government, which would be the largest such project in Europe. Interesting. Let's see. We got a CES 2025. I forgot what CES stands for. It's a big technology expo. Here, let's see. Yeah, this one. January 7th to the 10th in Las Vegas. Yeah, I guess they're going to talk about AI-powered gadgets, wearable devices, AR accessibility. I think I said AI, right? AI-powered gadgets, AR accessibility, and standout products like Garmin's Rugged Instinct 3 smartwatch. Garmin, yeah. Samsung's anti-glare TVs, and OWC's affordable USB 4 cables. Companies emphasize AI integration across smart TVs, wearables, and more. There's old Jensen Huang. Really, this is the only guy anybody cares about. We don't care about Deborah or Sharon. Just another expo for big companies to show off their tech. Consumer Electronics Show. That's what it is. Yeah. I had a flux of the brain. Thank you. Let me check the US dollar. I think it was down 1% earlier, wasn't it? Maybe. Yeah, it was. I made a bullish play on gold last week, and that worked out really well. Now it's coming back down. I think if gold comes back down to 240, I'm going to do it again. I just bought call spreads. It was at 240, bought call spreads, jumped to 245. I cashed out like 244. I made like a quick 100% on this call spreads. It was nice. I should have posted that. I meant to, but I was busy. I was quite busy. Mr. King D, did I hold on to any of those LRCX calls? Yes, I did actually. What is LRCX doing today? Ooh, up 5.7%. Very nice. Yeah, LRCX. I didn't cash those out when they were up. They were up like 40% or something. I would have been conservative. But yeah, I didn't cash them out because I don't know. I suppose I could have. I just wanted more. I feel like that one I'm just gonna be right. And maybe I'm a loony for saying that, but I think LRCX has been beaten up too much. I know it's due to China exposure, and then most semiconductor chips are just they've gotten beat up. But LRCX they're in a good spot. They're actually I think they're a decent value, which I don't think I could say for too many semiconductor chip stocks. Very few would I call a value play. So I like LRCX, mostly because of financials and valuation, I should note. Not necessarily because I think they're in the best spot ever in terms of business or like secular trends. They're in a good spot for sure. But I wouldn't give them like the gold star that I would give a company like NVIDIA, or I like Monolithic Power, ASML, TSM, or at this point Broadcom, but valuation. I do not like valuation of Broadcom now. But yeah, LRCX, it doesn't have outstanding management. They're not great with the CapEx cycle. But they check all the other boxes, and again, this is one of the very few stocks that I think is actually trading at a good value. Few semiconductor chip stocks, that is. So I think it's got a good. We'll see what they do for earnings. I might just hold through earnings, to be honest, or maybe I'll adjust, put on a different position. Earnings, beginning of February, late January, beginning of February, something like that. Yeah. All right, let's look at the flex grid. Okay. What do we got here? Looks like Apple's trying to bottom out on the short term. I got the 15-minute chart here. Nvidia's had a great move this past few trading days. Went from 134, now it's at 150. Man, I wanted to go pretty bullish on Nvidia, or I sold put spreads. Yeah. I took the conservative route, but frankly, I should have bought calls. Speaking of good trades, I guess do a few announcements real quick, and then probably call it a day, at least for YouTube land. So let's see, for the month of December, for you gambling addicts, trade performance for the active trading channel, 30% average return with a 79% success rate. There were 48 trades open, 29 trades closed or expired. Highest return was 170%. That was Toyota. That was like 3 weeks. Yeah, that was great on Toyota. Honda did well too, but yeah. And then I already announced this in those channels for the subscribers, but was doing credit spreads. Not going to do those anymore because, frankly, I can adjust all day, every day, however I want. But one part is I adjust based on what I think, not always based on it's not always systematic. And I would rather have it be systematic if it was going to be posted in the trading channel. But also, volatility, it got a little crazy second half of December, or frankly, most of December. And I don't mind a few losses on those because I'll just adjust or roll out whatever. But then these trades become pretty cumbersome. And I'm pretty sure not everybody has the time to just, adjust all the time or wants to adjust credit spreads all the time, like once or twice a week for a few weeks and then open a new one, another month out. It's just a little bit too much work, I think. And the reward isn't even that great. If you're a systematic seller of volatility, then you're good with that. That's fine. And you're an active trader, you don't mind. If you're an advanced, you have at least an advanced understanding of trading options, yeah, you're good to go. But for the sake of the trading channel, I'm not going to post those anymore. I will share ideas for selling volatility. I'll continue doing that. And then just say, this is what I'm looking at. If you want to do it, good luck to you, and adjust however you'd like to adjust. And then I might note like, okay, I closed these or whatever. I'm rolling out, but yeah, it's just a bit too much work. Even the accounting part. Like I adjusted Google so much and ended up being like close to break even. But if you didn't know how to adjust that, you either just left it and then you got lucky. I think at the close, on expiration, I think it actually went to the short call strike. So that's fine. But in the meantime, when Google was, approaching 200, you were probably pooping your pants. But hopefully none of these positions are that big, risk-wise in the first place. So maybe that wasn't the case. But overall, selling those credit spreads during that point in time, there's a bit too much to manage for everybody, I think. And frankly, the single leg trades, just calls, puts, short-term calls, short-term puts, and then the debit spreads, those have been doing quite well. So, and then on that note, without the credit spreads in December, which is, probably closer to how it's going to be going forward, it was 38% average return with an 87% success rate. So 38% versus 30%, and then return, and then 87% success rate versus 79%. So I think it'll look better. And frankly, when you calculate returns for credit spreads, you divide the return by the max risk. So your return metrics are going to be low. You should have a higher success rate. But frankly, if your success rate is above 70%, or even above 60%, just regular trades or not selling credit spreads, yeah, I don't think you need to sell credit spreads. We'll see if I can keep that up though. So yeah, I think. I mean, I could give you compounded, but it's a little, it's madness. But if you kept the same, well, just percentage wise, I'll just give you that. The percentage wise, for the month of November's average return of 53%, and then 30% for December. So if you compounded that, that's 199% in 2 months. So that's pretty nice. Yeah, I wouldn't say go full port. Those, you need to have small position size. So, if you're sizing them to like 5 to 10% of your portfolio, like total money, attributable to that, then okay, you're looking at like 20% compounded return in 2 months. That's not bad. So yeah, I would say still be conservative with those trades. Who knows? Might have a bad month. Might be this month. We'll see. But yeah, overall, those trades are going well. And let's see, what else we got? That's for the trader subscribers. For the investor subscribers, upcoming reports or premium. I'm going to cover quantum computing stocks. I think now's a good time. I think it's been kind of incidental that I wanted to cover them previously, or I thought I might be too late or whatever, but I just thought I would wait. It just so happens that they're still squeezing, so I think it's a good time to cover them, which, is a hint that I'm not exactly bullish on, honestly, on any of these stocks. But yeah, there's a lot to be said there, and it's not just going to be the meme stocks. I'm going to cover all the, there's a mega cap stock there. There are some other large caps. There's an industrials company. So yeah, it's going to be a bit diversified because there are a lot of companies that are actually involved in quantum, or at least I want to say involved in quantum computing, but working on quantum computing related technology. But yeah, that'll probably come out next week. By the end of next week, yeah. And then I'll do the last part of the renewable energy series. I mentioned that earlier. But yeah. Still got a little bit of research to do because there might be something else that I want to include. But yeah. First two parts, those have been up. First part was about nuclear power. Second part was about well, let's see. What are we looking at now? Yeah, I'll say it. Second part was about natural gas. But I got a whole report there. And then I'm going to keep doing those spreadsheets, to talk about stocks that are in a good position to benefit. So that's the other added benefit for those who are new or you're still curious. And yeah. And again, any feedback is welcome for the current subscribers. Whatever you think of the spreadsheets, or I would say whatever you think of the trades, but based on the numbers, unless you have a lot of execution risk, I don't think people are too displeased with the trades. But yeah, the reports, I would be curious to still hear your thoughts on the report. All right, S&P is just cruising on up. NVIDIA, they had a 4.5% move Friday. Now they're at 4.2%. I'm going to take some. Yeah, I'm going to short them. Maybe I'll just do this week. Yeah, let's go ahead and get in that. Probably credit spreads. Oh, that's, yeah. I think I want to go wider. Do something like that. Am I going to have to chase? Okay, there we go. Gotten some credit spreads. Debit put spreads on NVIDIA. Strikes long 148, short 143 expiring this week. We'll see how that goes. I just want to get some short exposure. Broadcom's up 3%. Yeah, NVIDIA is definitely the outperformer over the past 5 days. Probably for good reason, but yeah, a lot of buying in semiconductors. Oh yeah, markets are closed Thursday, right? For old Jimmy Carter. Yeah. I don't think too many people actually I want to speak for at the time, but I don't think people in general, too many people had a problem with Jimmy Carter. Then again, I think most modern Americans, they don't even, they forgot who he was probably. Not very good with American history. Yeah, I mean, shit was hitting the fan towards the end of his presidency. And that's how it goes, doesn't it? Like, you can have so many bad things happen in the beginning, in the first 2 years of your presidency. It can be like perfect first 2 years. And then in the last year, if things are just suddenly things start going bad or just, things out of your control, you're done. But all right. I think I'm going to call it a day, at least for YouTube people. So, yeah. Got any questions about content, let me know. Otherwise, well, let's see. I'll sign out with the look at the tape. S&P futures up 1.1%. Nasdaq's up 1.5%. Dow's up 0.7%. Russell's up 0.9%. VIX futures are down 1.7%. Treasury's still down. Gold is starting to come back up. It's down 0.45%. Crude is now up 1.3%. Nat gas, a little bit of a pullback, but still up 7.5%. Bitcoin's now up 3%. And the U.S. dollar is down 0.6% versus other currencies. All right. I'll call it a day for YouTube. I'll hang out in Discord a little bit longer in case you want to join there. All right, everyone. Have a good week, and I'll see you Friday.